Hello and welcome back to Let Supreme Ghost Thief. We're going to continue with the Mystic Gems series today. Before we do that, I wanted to say one thing about Arcliff Islands. We had a discussion on the forums after the release of that video, and I do sort of agree with what a few of the other viewers said, or players, ghosters, said, that cutting the metal bar in the prison in the beginning of that mission should be property damage, because you're able to bend the bar and then leave the prison, and you have compromised the integrity of the prison cell door. So that is evidence of damage. Whether it's very, very slight, it is enough to damage the door, and that should be property damage, and it should be a bust to Supreme, or to Ghost, I mean. So I reluctantly didn't agree, but I accept the fact that yes, that could be seen as property damage, and there were a few people that said that they thought it was. So I do take the opinions of other ghosters seriously, and although reluctantly, I do accept that that was a bust. So unfortunately, Arcliff Islands then is not a successful ghost, but I ghosted everything else. So that is a very forced bust then, because it's the only way to leave the prison. You can't use the sword clipping technique because you don't have a sword in the cell, so there's no other conceivable way I can see to leave that cell without at least breaking part of the bar. So anyway, there it is. So we are going to move on with Mystic Gems Part 2. Let's do that. I hope you guys enjoyed Unlucky Soul Mission 1. Let me read the info text before we get going here. And it says, getting the Mystic Soul was easy, just like I imagined it to be, but the game gets a bit trickier. I have never been to Bohn, one of the few main cities in the region. So far everything has gone by the plan, but during my years of thieving I have learned to expect the unexpected. And this time too I have somewhat bad feeling of things to come. According to Lord Gillian's diary, this mystic soul that I stole from him is cursed. A few lines in some noble's diary isn't very convincing, so I hope to stumble on some additional information. The mystic heart is the reason why I'm here. It's located inside one of the main establishments of the city, the Baronial Museum. The museum is filled with valuables from different eras and cultures, so security will be tight. However, any guards patrolling the streets shouldn't bother me unless I do something foolish. I was able to find only a simple map meant for museum visitors. It doesn't show staff areas, but it's better than nothing. In addition to the gemstone, I'm also going to find some valuable information about my targets. There is sure to be some research notes in the museum archives. Once I have finished everything, I have to get out of the city before dawn breaks. Alright. So, the objectives. Time to make this trip worth it. Break into the museum and steal the Mystic Heart. Every museum visit should include souvenirs. This will be no exception. Get at least 3,200 loot. These Mystic Gems must be more than just normal gemstones. The museum should have more information in its archives. See if you can find any. Once you're done with everything, get back to the city streets. Better not make yourself a wanted murderer in this city. Don't kill anyone. So, this is then the mission that Harm chose, the winner of the last Thief Ambiance competition. And this is much, much better than Mystic Gems 1, although that was a decent mission. This is a much grander scale and fantastically beautiful. So beautiful, in fact, that I decided to play it with the EP mod, which just upscales some of the textures, but it doesn't change anything. But I've also downloaded high-res versions of some of the custom paintings that are found inside this mission. And I have included a link in the video description if you want to download that pack. You can just unzip it into the fan mission folder that you should already have downloaded if you have the mission. And that'll overwrite some of those files and make it high-res. So I'll also talk a little bit about those paintings and give you some of the background story of it. So let's get started. So we're not going to buy anything. We don't need anything. We can find everything we need in the mission. And we start with a rope arrow. We only have one, which is not much, but we shouldn't need any more than that. Let's look at the map. So this is the map of the outside areas. So the museum is here, but you don't see any interior details of it here. This is where we start. Wait. Yeah, this is where we start. Sorry, it was upside down compared to what I expected it to be. This is where we start. This is the sewer entrance that we're going to take. That'll take us to the museum eventually. And there's another museum entrance here that you can pick open. Both of these doors are pickable. You have to pick one of them. So I'm going to choose this one. There are some guards in the street patrolling, but they will not bother us. Then there is another side entrance here that we cannot take for Supreme. And there's an outside street area on Demoran Street. And we will get out from this exit here. So I'll show you this area, but we cannot enter that area. And then there are two very nice and detailed maps of the 2 floors in the museum. We will come into the museum through the library entrance, actually a secret entrance here. And then there are plenty of rooms throughout the museum, and there are plenty of access points to the upper floors. There's actually a 3rd floor too that you can't see here. And there's a basement that there's no map of. The Great Hall here is beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. And many other areas have exhibits with paintings, with items on display on both floors. Lots of beautiful eye candy, and there's a good amount of readables with good background story too, and a couple of the nice things. There are plenty of guards patrolling around here, but they're not too difficult to dodge around. There's no like one areas that are super challenging. It's just tense all throughout. So it's a very nice and solid, very clean and polished mission. So I very much enjoy it. Same layout on the 2nd floor, and the 3rd floor is a little bit smaller. There is also an elevator, a couple of elevators actually, that we can use, that we are going to use once or twice. But let's get going. Let's make a save. Quick save, and there we go. This is the entrance to the sewers that we can take, and we are going to take eventually. It's just such a nice looking mission. Over here are some guards. They will not alert to us. This is the pickable door into the basement that we could take. Not going to. Head in here. We want to grab 2 stacks of copper coins here. Total 10. So although the guards here do not alert to you, make sure that you're not in their visible range when shooting that rope arrow, because then they see that as a weapon and then they will attack you. As long as they don't see you do that, you're fine. There's nothing else out here, so I will show you the inside of the basement where those doors lead to later on. There's nothing in the water. Pick the lock on this door. Very nice ambiance and background sounds in this mission. This really only has one way right now. Can't go through there. There's a guard we're going to encounter soon. Up here. Get to a door that is locked and not pickable. There is a sewer key that you can take to get to that area, but that's the basement. Alright, so we are safe here. He's going to have to pass us here, and then we have to get a key. This is a sewer basin here. There's a key in there that we technically don't need, but for immersion, I'm going to take it because it'll give us access to something that we would never know if we hadn't. If we hadn't taken that key. What's this? It's an armory key. Down here, there's also a couple of water arrows. Nothing else really of interest. So the armory key we're gonna need. So in here, we're gonna continue. There's no other exits from that room.
Singing in the morning and waking you up. Singing at night, looking for girl birds.
But yeah, there's one water arrow in that basin.
Don't hear them no more. Kinda sad.
This guy has a sewer key. And here's a little engine room. There's one more water arrow there if you want to. That sewer key I don't want to take. There's another copy of it also. But if I had to take it, I would take this one, because the other one you can't return. This one you can return, but you can play the mission without needing that sewer key. It just gets you access to, I think it's 2 doors that leads into the basement from the sewers. Or to the sewers from the basement. Alright, so that gate you see on the left there, that is one way into the basement. And the other way we saw earlier, that was the locked door. The sewer key will unlock both of those. And of course you can return the key if you want to its patrol route.
What's that?
That is required for Supreme. But I think it's cleaner and better not to even worry about that key and just leave it. Because we can open that gate with the switch there. Up fairly easily. And a pump room. We're going to continue here, this way. Here we have a door. That one we have to pick. And now we get to the streets. This side, so that's the sewer entrance to the east. Alright, now here you can actually climb up the vines. Get to one of the side courtyards. Here is a moss arrow. So that is this entrance here. And it'll take you to this entrance on the east side. At least I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the one. So these are doors that you can pick up to go inside, but that's not possible for Supreme because this guy will give a comment. Here's another guard here. There's nothing else to pick up in this part of the courtyard, but I just wanted to show it to you. Instead, we're going to head on to the streets here because there is something else. Another reason why we are here. Won't alert. And I want to take this loot here. First we're 35, total 35. Okay. Here is also a readable that is fairly important. I grabbed a piece of paper. Ode to Catherine. Met a lovely maid at court. Between two statues did make sport. Invited the lusty lass to my room. Was swept into the fount by her broom. So these are actually hints to the locations of certain torches that we have to later extinguish with a certain special quest item. So the hints here is court. There's a courtyard where there's a torch. Between two statues. My room is a little bit cryptic, but I'll explain. And then there's a fount, so that's probably a fountain. That. And here is a gas arrow. Obviously very useful if you don't ghost. And nothing else really of interest here. Let's head back.
Never included anything.
So, by the way, thank you guys for the feedback on the microphone that I used on Mystic Gems 1 that I'm not using anymore. It was a pretty clear, unanimous decision. This is a secret that will take us to the museum. So yeah, I had a little bit of problems with the old trusted microphone picking up too much background noise. There's like a buzzing almost in the background. So I've tried to adjust the gain and the volume settings a little bit, or the microphone settings. So let me know how it sounds. Is my voice too low compared to the game voice, or too high? Do you guys feel that there's too much feedback in the background, or not? I don't know. Just some feedback I'd like for you guys to give me. I always try to tweak that. I have two different computers that I record on, so it's not always the same. Harcliffe Islands is not a problem. That's on the family computer, so this is on a laptop. Anyway, just give me some feedback if you can. So now we are going to emerge in the library. This is then one secret. We should be able to find all the secrets in this mission. The switch is under the end table. There. We can actually head staff only straight down to the basement again.
Cook said might get stew today with real cow.
Okay, we're gonna head in here. Let's see. I would actually head to a courtyard right now. The best way to get access to some loot here. So now we are actually on the southern courtyard, in the southern courtyard, which is here. We came out here in the library. I just went up here and straight down to the basement. There's no map for the basement. But we just, in the basement, went straight over here and through a window, and then we are emerging in a huge courtyard that is filling this space. So these are the main entrance doors that you can see here.
Wet around here.
But I think this guard here will also alert most likely to those doors, but you don't need to pick those doors. Let's see if we can walk across here. Oh, we can't do that now for sure. We have to wait for that guard to head back east. Then we can cross the courtyard. We need to get into a little cemetery there, and we need to get some loot in the courtyard further southeast. So you can't go through these gates, and there's that guy too. Okay, that's not good timing. Well, I don't know how long that guard there goes, and where he goes. Maybe we're good. No, we're not good. Ugh. The It's so tedious to go through here slowly.
I don't like the looks of that.
What happened there? Can we do that maybe? Yes. Ooh. We managed to do that, okay. 3 guards here, and the timing was just the worst I've seen, so I'm happy I was able to do that. These you can pick open with a new dark map over it. Tomb of Guillaume Lefort, 1180 to 1225 AFB. And this is the reason why we're in here, to get a blessed candle. That'll give us access to an objective later on. Head in here. There's some loot in that fountain over there. I don't think it works if it's dry. 2 coin pairs and 2 regular coins. Total 85, yep. I don't like when the game doesn't show you any difference in shadow pattern. Right? It doesn't seem like I'm any darker here than I am over there. But I definitely am. I've gotten back to some dark mod. And the next mission most likely will be a dark mod mission. And that is one thing I like about the dark mod.
What's that I see?
The front door guard that saw me. That's one thing I like about the dark mod, is that it's very clear on where the shadows are. It's very easy to tell where you are hidden and where you are not. In Thief, it's good, but it's not perfect, because the shadow patterns are cast, I think, by the engine naturally. But then you also, the author can override it or set the lighting intensity. I'm not a DROM editor, so I have no clue, but I think it's both DROM ed automatically and the author. Something like that. Let me know if you have any insight on the difference there between the two. Can't stand that. And that's another thing I love about Dark Mod, is the mantling mechanic is so easy. There are other things that are more difficult, but they're logical. It's a very clean engine. This is an older engine, so of course, and it's not being worked on anymore. Well, I mean, there are people that update the New Dark.
Know what's going on.
New Dark patch.
Last person to know.
Wait, I think this one is empty. Actually, this one here is empty. Exactly. This is the vault. Go in there now. You can see the vault there, and there is a code panel. So we probably need to find a code to get into the vault. Let's clean the basement while we're here. This is secret. Torch. There's a gold nugget worth 100. Area should also have a front locker with a gold candlestick. elevator. There's another coin pair. This doesn't take you anywhere. Let's head over in this direction, shall we? We have another gold candlestick. And here you see Dewdrop and a diary. 8/21/35. Something weird is going on. Last week, Captain Jacob told me that they didn't need any more guards. Yet Wille, the new captain, hired me on the spot today. Too bad it's a long way home after my shift is over, but no complaints here. At least I have a job. Brought my lucky charm to work with me. Nobody better try to steal her, or I'll turn them into fish food. 8/22. What's with keeping the armory locked if there are only a couple of items in it? Captain Wille explained that the locked door is only a precaution. You wouldn't want the servants to get in and hurt themselves. Besides, the armory was only completed 5 days ago, and the new weaponry they ordered has yet to arrive. 8/25. Notice that the captain hangs around the big water basin a lot. Can't see what's so fascinating about sewage. So that is a hint to where the armory key is found. Overheard the curator telling the captain that the plans to build a barracks in the basement have been cancelled. Didn't give a reason why. Damn it. I was so hoping to have a more private place to keep my diary and doll. Direction. These are the double doors right here that we could have picked and directly enter the basement at the beginning of the mission. But I wanted to go to the sewers to get the armory key. Let's just give it a real save. Yeah, we have to wait for that other guard there to come back here. There's no way. We have to take his purse and then continue by following that walking guy. His purse. And if we can head over here. These are the two statues, by the way, over there. That was mentioned in the readable, or in the poem. Gotta head in here. So that purse was worth 30. Then we have a jar here worth 50. So 370. Let's go here real quick. Okay, so this is the servants' quarters. We have another copy of the sewer key, but that you can't drop back for Supreme because it wakes him up. Coin pair and a readable. Gunther, how many times do I have to tell you to trim the vines on both sides of the wall running along the De Morin Street? The museum can't afford to pay compensation to the families of any of the kids who could get hurt during one of their frequent excursions over the wall. Your last week's pay is now forfeit, and if you still haven't taken care of the vines by the time the Professor Ordway's visit in 2 days, I'll have the guards kick your lazy behind out of here. And while you're at it, clean out and fix the broken fountain. Who knows, one of the museum visitors may have thrown enough into it to make up for your docked wages. Curator the Berg. So we already climbed those vines, and we have a Professor Ordway coming to visit. That sounds interesting. Here we have a diary, and also a stack of copper coins. 5/9/35. First day on the job. There are 3 of us to do what appears to be pretty easy stuff, and both of my mates prefer the bunk bed, so I get this bed all to myself. I've never had it so good. One of them, Morley, has been here since the museum was built 20 years ago. Must have been just a kid when he started. He doesn't look that old. Has this permanent sadness to his face. I wonder what happened. 8/17. The work on the vault and the armory is finally completed. Thought we would have our privacy again once this was done. but the idiots removed the section of the wall that made the restroom part of our quarters, and then built an open archway on this side of the restroom door. Now there's nothing to stop the guards from trouncing through here night and day to use our restroom, or to take shortcuts to other parts of the basement. I'm sleeping in a friggin' hallway. It's been so long since I've had a good night's sleep. 8:24:35. What's going on? That dirtbag of a curator let everyone else go. Now I have to do the work of 3 people and no increase in pay. And to top it off, the guards have laid claim to the bunk bed for so-called 15-minute break naps. Right. Looks like Morley took being let go very hard. Saw him staggering out of the tavern on the Demorne Street this afternoon. So that was then Morley that we saw out there. 8:25:35. That scumbag docked me a whole week's pay for not trimming some crummy vines. Doesn't he realize that I had to work 14 hours today just to make up for the staff he let go? Saw Morley drunk again in front of the tavern. Dropped by to keep him company, but all he did was mutter about magical torches and some other nonsense. About a shrine and mystic gems. And every now and then he would moan some name, Catherine, I believe, and spout off a poem he claimed he composed for her years ago. 8:26:35. Too exhausted to tackle either the vines or the broken fountain tonight. Must wake up bright and early to take care of these before De Burgh gets up on history. Went to the tavern to relax and ran into Morley again. Had just got there himself and appeared to be in a cheery mood for once, but when I asked about Catherine he just glared at me and ignored me for the rest of the evening. Catherine, where have I heard that name before? No, can't be her. Interesting. I'm gonna check the audio here. Not sure if it's a little bit too loud, maybe. There. In here, this is the bathroom. There's nothing really of interest there. But this is the armory. So that is what we have the key for. In here you can find a flash bomb. You can find 2 healing potions, a gas mine, and a rope arrow. But then you can also find the vault schematics up here. Von Ulrich's vaults and safes. To open the vault door, correct code must be given using the keypad device. Code length is always 4 numbers. As per your request, the default code has been set to General de Morne's birthday. That is very important information for us, and that's ultimately why we needed the armory key. We strongly advise you to change this to something else as soon as possible for safety reasons. If the keypad device remains unused for several hours, it will set itself to 4 zeros. I'm not sure if it actually does that. Project supervisor is Oliver Rubin. And we can actually drop that back. And you can actually... Oh. You can drop it inside, which is a little bit cool. This here can give you access to another part of the courtyards. This is the door that takes you to the sewers, not the one that I maybe said earlier. Now we are going to head upstairs. So we are now arriving right here on the first floor. So we're going to head southwest and actually go upstairs now. So here we have some paintings, Return of the Prodigal Son, and Storm on the Sea of Galilee. These are both actual paintings by Rembrandt, by the way. So we're going to head up here. Just great music. There's a gold candlestick and another gold candlestick. I'm going to head over here. I did that on purpose because I wanted to show you this. This is a painting that if you click on the plaque it says Forging of the Sampo, and it's a little bit strange how I know about this because I'm not sure if this is actually still too loud. Let's see audio. I'm not sure. Because I used to read a lot of Donald Duck comic books, actually. And one of my favorite Donald Duck authors and drawers is Don Rosa. and he has done a parody story on this called Quest for the Kalevala. This is actually based on a Finnish poem written in the 1800s. I didn't know anything about that poem before researching it a little bit ahead of this video, but I know that the author of this mission, Wille, is Finnish, so he probably put these paintings in here on purpose. And the story revolves around a person named Wainamoinen, and he desires to have the daughter of the Maiden of the North as his bride. And the Maiden of the North is sort of the antagonist of the story, I guess. And he agrees with that maiden to get her daughter if he forges what's called the Sampo. And the Sampo is a magical device whose owner will gain blessings and riches and prosperity. What the Sampo actually is not known. It's debated, I guess, in some circles, but it's some kind of metallic device, but we don't really know what it is, but it's a magical one. So he forges this, or he has his blacksmith, whom I assume is one of the people in the foreground here, named Ilmarinen, to forge it. So that's what you're seeing here. And he ends up giving the Sampo then to this maiden, but I don't think he actually ends up getting the bride. So we're going to continue that story in other paintings, but yeah, I just know a few things about the story. Let me know if you know more, and I'm saying something wrong there, but it's an interesting story anyway. So I thought I would share that. Oops, we're going to get this, guys.
Not again.
Oh, we need to get this guy's key.
I don't think it's true at all what they said. Probably was true. Oh, no!
Oh, he heard that, but we need his key. It's a private study key. He has, that's Sergeant Wille. He has a super long patrol route.
He's broken. He's fancy
It's
guy.
very difficult to know where he
Can't
is.
get a simple mug of coffee.
Perfect. I was a little bit worried I wasn't going to be able to get that. So let's head up here then. Good, private study key. So we are now on the second floor. We're right in this foyer here. We have 480. That's what we're supposed to have. Perfect. Then we're going to make a real save again. See, we're going to grab a statue here. This is above the courtyard. So we're on the south side of the courtyard right now. Oh.
Hello?
There's a guard below here. You can see him right there. Let's go over here. So here we have the second part of our story of the Kalevala, the robbing of the Sampo. And this is showing then Wainamoinen, as we talked about, did not get his bride when he forged the Sampo. And after a while, he realizes that he's made a mistake in forging the Sampo for this Maiden of the North. So he leads a party to her land, I believe it is, to retrieve the Sampo. So this is then them trying to bring the Sampo onto their boat or whatever. So they are here in the process of getting the Sampo back to his people so that they can get the blessings and the prosperity from it. So that's what it's showing here. It's an interesting story if you look it up, but it's quite crazy.
Hello?
Yeah. So he hears that. It's just slightest running on wood, which is actually quite loud. Read a couple books here. The Hag and the Unsinkable. The Hag was actually a very beautiful redhead with only 2 defects. Adding steel caps to one of her boots easily took care of the shorter leg, but nothing, absolutely nothing, could be done about her fiery disposition. Legends claim that her parents had her thrown to the mercies of a raging river when she was only 3 years old. The child survived and vowed vengeance. Then 10 years later, against all odds, the determined 13-year-old obtained her first ship and crew, and within a very short time had amassed a fortune in spice. This fortune was converted into the building of the largest and fastest vessel to ever sail the seas, the Unsinkable, equipped with 20 destructive precursor cannons. On the very day that her ship was completed, the Hag inaugurated her 30-year reign of piracy by sinking every other vessel in harbor. The Unsinkable was unbeatable. Seeing the ship on the open seas was tantamount to being issued a death sentence. Since by the time you got sight of it was already too late. No ship or fleet ever survived its massive guns. Responsible for consigning over 1,000 ships and their helpless crews to their watery graves, both the legendary ship and its captain finally met their demise due to a simple mishap. During an unscheduled stopover at Dayport, a port in the far west, the Hag discovered and proceeded to apprehend a young and experienced thief hiding in storage below decks. In the midst of the struggle, the Hag's steel-capped boot missed the thief's head and buried itself into the ship's side below the waterline. The steel-weighted foot achieved what her parents could not. The Hag drowned, in only a few cubits height of water. Within hours, nothing was left of the famous pirate ship. The 20 heavy precursor cannons were somehow spirited away by an unknown faction, and everything else, even the ship's boards, were stripped down and carried off by enthusiastic souvenir collectors. The Hag's body was retrieved intact from its watery grave and put on public display, but celebrations were cut short when the body disappeared overnight. Numerous beliefs have arisen as to what actually happened to the Hag's body. However, one story stands out from the rest, that her body was carried off by her former mentor and lover, Captain Markham, and buried in an underground cavern on the island that bears his name. As for the young thief, rumor has it that he survived, and still plagues us to this day. Trophies from the Unsinkable. The trophies on display, each bearing the crest of this famous ship, some have found their way to Markham's Isle, an island named after a well-known pirate who vanished a couple of years after the Unsinkable met his ruin at Dayport. The flag, one of many found on the isle, is believed to be the one that Markham gave the Hag on her 10th birthday. The chest was discovered in the hold on Captain Markham's own sunken ship. Apparently the ship had been carried into one of the isle's many underground caves by the treacherous undertows common to these waters. According to the legend, the chest and the treasures it contained, both given to Markham after the Hag's first naval victory, was being guarded by his ghost, but there was no evidence of either treasure or ghost when the chest was found. The museum found the anchor, navigator's wheel, and silver sextant on the isle's abandoned lighthouse. According to a reliable mechanist source, the Order had set up the wheel to operate the elevator between their underground base and the lighthouse. But when our expedition came across it, they discovered that the elevator wouldn't budge from the bottom of the shaft, and that the wheel was missing a peg. The mechanist source also confirmed that the navigator's globe disappeared shortly after they took possession of the isle. Apparently the globe has been circulating from collector to collector until the museum came across it in a pawnshop. According to the pawnshop owner, when he asked the hooded stranger when he was planning to redeem the globe, he replied, "Here today, gone tomorrow." So these are obviously describing some of the events in Precious Cargo from Thief 2. Okay. This is not probable. Here's the sextant. That's worth 40, total 535. Let's see here. Also have a couple of readables that we're going to read here. Brief history of the Kingdom of Norda and the city of Bohn. Over 1,200 years ago, 5 tribal seafaring chiefdom, the Dana, Sverri, Nor, Reka, and Suo, held sway over these northern lands. Sharing a common heritage and mythology that glorified heroic death in battle, the tribes were constantly fighting one another. That is, whenever they weren't raiding and pillaging their terrified neighbors. Devotion to this combative ethos would have eventually led to the extinction of the tribes, since birth rates no longer kept pace with the numbers of the fallen, if not for the foresight of one man, Kalmar the Great. Of unknown origins, Kalmar was able to convince the rivaling tribal chiefs to end their conflicts and unite under one banner. The tribes responded by electing the charismatic Kalmar as king of the newly formed Kingdom of Norda. Kalmar founded and established the city of Bohn as the capital of Norda during the first year of his reign. Consequently, history in these lands has been recorded in terms of before and after the founding of Bohn, BFB and AFB respectively. Norda prospered and grew to its greatest extent during Kalmar's 47-year reign, mostly through diplomatic means, helped no doubt by the fact that Kalmar never lost a battle and that his fleet ruled the seas. Under Kalmar, the tribes kept the best of their mythical past while channeling their erstwhile warrior energies into absorbing the culture and mastering the technologies offered by the more advanced civilization of the day. Bohn itself soon became an international center for trade, commerce, architecture, the arts, philosophy, and religious freedom. When Kalmar died, the kingdom was initially divided between his 2 sons, Knut and Svein, per ancient custom. Knut and Svein are both viable names in Norwegian, which it is not really related to Finnish, which I'm sure that most of this mythology is based on, since the author is Finnish. But it's Norse mythology, so it's probably related to both languages. However, when Svein also died soon afterwards in a mysterious hunting accident, the barons chose to reunite the kingdom under Knut instead of putting Svein's son to the vacated throne. Subsequent monarchs were elected from the most suitable male and female candidates among the direct descendants of Knut, House of Shen, and Svein, House of Lar, and the crown would often pass between royal houses instead of direct lines. Thus, the best were succeeded by the best, and the people of Norda enjoyed the rule of the Kalmar dynasty for over 1100 years. Unfortunately, 2 lengthy and exhaustive wars, first against the invading eastern hordes and then the southern Hammerite Imperium, in the early part of the 12th century AFB, had so diminished the kingdom and its royal houses that when Olav II died without issue in 1125 AFB, there were none left of Kalmar's direct line to take the throne. Since the kingdom was still entrenched in its war against the Imperium, Norda's barons pleaded with General de Morin, Bonn's war hero, to take the crown, but he refused and only accepted the role of regent of the realm in the interim while search continued for the rightful heir to the throne. The mighty Imperium was on the defensive when de Morin died 7 years later, and Turtu III, a descendant of Kalmar's brother, Magnus, was crowned king. Turtu III continued pushing the Imperium back, and during his 40-year reign, Norda recouped much of the territory previously lost to both the Eastern Hordes and the Hammerite Imperium. Under Turtu III, Norda regained its prominence as a world power, and the city of Bohn was once again recognized as a world-class cultural center. The Turkulian dynasty, founded by Turtu III, is personified today in Her Majesty Karelia V. Okay, let's read this too.
Jordan.
The Kalmar dynasty. The objects on the right are symbols of the Kalmar dynasty, named after Kalmar the Great, founder of the Kingdom of Norda and the city of Bohn. The statue of Kalmar the Great, who reigned over Norda between 1 to 47 AFB, is the original created by the great sculptor Klatremus. Copies of this statue can be found even in the most unlikely places of the world. The swords flanking Kalmar's statue were forged by the famous metalworker Glenir Ironarm, and were presented to Kalmar's twin sons, Knut and Svein, when they reached manhood. Their edges, known to even cleave the undead, have not lost their sharpness centuries later. The heraldic banners were those of the House of Shen, left, and the House of Lar, right, the descendants of Knut and Svein, contributed by Queen Karelia V.
At you.
Here. jar worth 50, total 585. So we've now moved, this is the Bohn Museum. We've moved east, taken a jar, and now we're going to head up here and then upstairs. So the Great Hall is quite difficult because there are a couple of guards upstairs that are stationary. Stationary guards are always the worst, especially if they pivot. This is the Night Watch by Rembrandt. So, as I might have mentioned earlier, these are all real paintings by Rembrandt. Not all, but those that are named as Rembrandt are original pieces. So that's Captain Wille. Oh, nice. So that's a purse that I was considering maybe taking later. But it's a purse worth 25, I think. Let me just check that real quick. Yeah, that is a female guard. Good. So yeah, this is the entrance then, which is right here to the Great Hall. So there are a couple of pieces of loot up here, but we have to come from the east to take those. So now we're going to head upstairs, actually. It says staff only again. There we go. And this is the... There are 2 doors to this room. Let's make a real save. And this is, I believe, Professor Ordway. He has 2 areas that he is stationed.
Huh?
I didn't think he would lead that quickly, but I guess that's good though. Actually, first
someone there?
Read this. Professor Ordway's letter. My dearest curator, Eureka! I finally found the secret to getting access to the hidden shrine of the first apprentice. As we had surmised, the 4 inextinguishable blue flame torches are indeed connected to opening the hidden passageway. And get this, that passageway is somewhere in the vicinity of that large statue in the very center of your museum. And remember that vial of holy water that you couldn't figure what to do with? According to the Hammerite Historical Archives, it was blessed by the same mystic who had captured the heart and soul of the builder's first apprentice. Unlike other vials of holy water, it is useless as a weapon against the undead. It was created for 2 purposes only, to extinguish or relight those 4 torches. Nothing else. The only problem is that all 4 torches need to be extinguished and in the right order to open the hidden passageway, or they will simply relight by themselves and the opening will remain closed. The archives does mention a poem called Ode to Catherine. That's the one we read, apparently composed soon after the museum was built 20 years ago, which give hints on the correct sequence needed to extinguish the torches, but the actual poem itself appears to be missing. Evidently, that vial of holy water, you still have it right, is inexhaustible. So if perchance we make a mistake, we can always try again. I'm sending this letter with my assistant, Esmeralda. When she arrives, you can put her to work in your library searching for further clues on the location of the shrine. We're going to be rich, rich, rich. See you in the morning of the 27th. Your best friend, the Professor. So that we don't need, really. So we're gonna pick open this. There, bottle of holy water. So that doesn't work like it said as a normal bottle. Can we work to put out some of the torches there?
Is someone there?
So he turns the wrong way there.
So tedious, but we do go in a favor. Huh? I won't.
Don't have time for that. But we took the goblet, we took a bottle of wine. And we took the plate on the wall. There's also a cheese on the table, and we need to pick the lock on this. But we can't do that when he is stationed like this, because when he is stopped at the end of a patrol, he doesn't give first alerts, but he really does alert.
Who's that?
Now we got it picked. This room is actually quite difficult. There are two doors, one in the other room there in his bedroom. But I don't want to pick both. You have to pick one. There's no key for this. I don't like it when he goes all the way and then turns around. Now he didn't do that, you see?
Who are you?
I want to do that, but I want to do it quicker. Now he does that every time when I'm following him. So now he didn't do that. It's only dependent on whether I follow him or not, right?
Who's he gone?
Oh my gosh.
So tedious. What be?
Every time I follow him, he goes all the way.
What is this?
Well, we have to do this.
Guards!
Time for another visit to the tailor, I think. Oh, velvet has gotten so expensive. I don't know whether it's worth it. Even the tradesmen are going up on velvet coats. Hardly means what it used to.
He saw that. Okay.
Who's that? Thief!
This is much tougher than what I had it in my practice run, that's for sure.
He's armed! Thief!
Wow. Okay, we have to go back and just wait for the next round then. There's no dark places in these rooms except for right at the end of this room. Did we take the ring? Yeah, we did.
Who's that? Who's making those?
And then he hears me.
I won't have.
Yeah. What are we gonna do here? I don't know. There we go. Now we got it. No. He saw that. That he didn't see. Okay, let's do a couple of things then. Grab a statue there.
What do I see there?
It's also random how long he stays in each room, you know. Legends of Hammerite crypts and shrines. This one is empty, I think. Yeah. One more readable here. $11-13-34. The curator is dead. Long live the curator. Received word this morning that Bohn the Grunt, the curator of the prestigious baronial museum, died recently, and that I've been chosen to fill his place. Also heard that the Baroness Catherine Lefort, one of the museum's founders, has gone missing. Apparently she never got over the death of her husband 10 years ago. That's just too bad. Haha. With her out of the way, I'll have free rein to do as I please. First day on the job. What a marvelous museum this is. Apparently the Leforts built it over the ruins of a site that is somehow connected to the Order of the Hammer. There are a couple of anomalies that puzzle me, though, about some objects that apparently were found when the museum's foundation were laid. Excuse me, guys. Yeah, sorry, I got a phone call there. Let's continue reading this. First, there are torches, braziers, and statues that have blue flames that are inextinguishable. This unknown technology just doesn't fit the image of the technically challenged Hammerite. Second, these objects have been simply integrated within the museum's overall design instead of being put on public display as part of the excavations found on site. Why hide these discoveries? Had lunch with Lord Carlisle, an old acquaintance of mine. Even though he owns one of the largest estates here in Bohn, he spends most of his time either at his expansive hunting lodge outside of Eastport or in the town's famous casino. He just had to be in Bohn to boast about his newest acquisition, the Mystic Soul. No one seems to know where it or its twin, the Mystic Heart, actually originate from. But rumor has it that they were both brought out of the Forbidden Bone Hoard several years ago and have been circulating among collectors ever since. Sometimes together, sometimes apart, no single collector has ever kept them for long. Most curious. God wind that Lord Carlisle lost all of his spice trading ships in that freak storm that struck Eastport a couple of weeks ago. That'll teach the boasting sob. Came across a vial lying behind a bookcase in the unused room on the main floor. Looks like a vial of holy water, but nothing comes out when I turn it upside down. Yet I can hear a sloshing noise whenever I shake it. It's probably useless, but my instincts tell me that this so-called insignificant item is actually very valuable, so I'll store it in my office chest for now. Heard through carrier pigeon that Lord Carlisle's fortunes have continued to plummet since he lost the spice trade. Worse still, he lost the mystic soul to another acquaintance of ours, Lord Gillian. Appears that Carlisle was more than glad to say goodbye to it. Almost feel sorry for the poor sod. Haha. Poor Carlisle. Also received a letter from my best friend, the Professor Ordway. He has been able to locate the current owner of the Mystic Heart, a certain Lord Fair, who appears more than anxious to get rid of it. Must purchase it before anyone else finds out that it's for sale. Meanwhile, I arranged to have a guard planted in Gillian's household so I can get regular updates on Gillian's fortunes. So I guess this is the new interim curator then. This isn't Professor Ordway. He is on his way. Purchased the Mystic Heart from Lord Fair for peanuts. Then he kept on thanking me for taking it off his hands, the idiot. Also received word from the professor. His research on the Order archive supports my own findings in our library. The blue-flamed anomalies are indeed remnants of that site that was covered over when the museum was constructed, per agreement with the Hammerites. Apparently the site is connected in some way with a forgotten legend about a shrine dedicated to the first apprentice of the builder. I wonder how this relates to the Hammerites, and why they are so anxious to keep it buried. Who cares? Ordway promised to continue researching their archives for further clues as to the shrine's whereabouts. Captain Jacob fell down the elevator shaft. He broke both legs, so he'll be off duty for a few months. Upon his recommendation, I made Sergeant Wille interim captain. Too bad about Jacob. He was very intelligent and alert for a guard. While Wille is, well, I'll just have to make do. Wille, despite misgivings, is fitting into his new role quite nicely. Gave him the only copy of the armory key that we have on hand. Hope he doesn't lose it. Not that it would really matter, since the armory currently holds little in terms of weaponry. Should change the code for the vault, though. Received a message via carrier pigeon this evening from the guard that I had planted in Lord Gillian's household. The place is in an uproar. The mystic soul and anything else of value that could be easily pocketed has disappeared. Not that there was much left of value after all the disasters that have hit Gillian since he procured that gem. No one saw or heard anything, although some guards woke up with tremendous headaches. Well, that isn't from me. Gillian has fired most of his guards. Fortunately, my plant was not one of them. Received another message from my plant. Apparently, Gillian's fortunes are now on the mend. Meanwhile, some of our major contributors have decided to negate on their financial commitments. There goes the barracks project. Better wait till tomorrow before telling Willie. Also had to let most of the staff go, only left with that simpleton Gunther. Now I'm certain that holding one of these gems bring bad luck, and that the only way out is to get rid of them as quickly as possible, unless there is a way to counteract their evil effects. Still no word of the whereabouts of the mystic soul, or any signs of anyone suffering from sudden reverses in fortunes. Whoever has it seems immune to its effects. My misgivings about Willie may be misplaced. Gave him a copy of the key to my private study. Told him to guard it with his life, and it will be his life if I ever find out that someone has had access to the study. Also, docked Gunther 1 week's pay for repeatedly ignoring my request to have the vines along the De Morin Street trimmed. Should have gotten rid of him a long time ago, but I have to have at least one servant around to take care of things. He gets plenty of sleep, so why that good-for-nothing looks so haggard and tired is beyond me. Received a letter from the professor today. Arrived in the company of his assistant Esmeralda. I just knew it. The 4 blue flame torches and this special vial of holy water in my chest are the means to opening the secret entrance to the shrine of the first apprentice. He'll be here first thing in the morning. Too excited to sleep. Good, okay. 850, that is what we're supposed to have. We got both the keys there. We're going to return the armory key eventually.
Got on board. 8 hours of this. Let me on.
Okay, let's wait for him to come back too.
Got on board.
guess I technically could have snuck this way before he came to the end, but for some reason I didn't think he went further than here. This is the elevator, or the elevator shaft. We're gonna go to the library now, and that's up this way.
Dun, 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 dun.
There's a vase there, and there's a woman, Esmeralda, that was Professor Ordway's assistant.
Who was that?
That is in here. She is stationed in both parts of the library. Up here, there's a book of ancient Hammerite artifacts. The 3 relics. The shrine of the builder's first apprentice actually held 3 relics. 2 of these relics are widely known, the Mystic Heart and the Mystic Soul. Legend claims that they were created by a great mystic who had somehow captured both the heart and soul of the builder's first apprentice at the time of his death, and had then changed them into magnificent gems. But the rite of transformation also imbued each of the 2 gems with a spell that would bring bad luck and disaster on whoever possessed them, if the gems were ever separated from the 3rd relic. Only women and members of his orders, the Keepers, were immune to the effects of this evil spell. Fortunately for us, the Keepers have apparently disappeared into oblivion long ago, and we women can now claim the gems that have resurfaced. The 3rd relic is much older than the gems. It was once just a plain rosary carried by the builder himself when he crossed the rifts from a parallel world. An ancient legend claims that the builder, at that time, was only a simple knight of the Order of the Temple, a sect who worshipped the god who had overcome death on a tree, and that at the time of the crossing he was fleeing from the extermination of his order by the kings and high priests of his world. That same legend claims that the emblem on his surcoat was transformed to that of a hammer on the day that he laid down his sword and swore to dedicate the remainder of his life to building instead of destruction. And on the same day his rosary was also transformed into gold. He later gave the rosary to the squire who had accompanied him across the rifts, the same man who would later become known as the builder's first apprentice. A millennium later, the 3 relics came into possession of the Order of the First Apprentice, an offshoot of the Hammerites, who worshipped the first apprentice as a god and stored the artifacts in a magnificent shrine that was built near the city of Bohn soon after its founding. The order flourished for several centuries. However, the close-knit religious group never grew beyond the confines of the shrine and the community built around it. 150 years ago, several major earthquakes and avalanches first destroyed, then covered up what had become a vibrant quarter of the expanding city of Bohn. All that remained were the peaks of 4 spirals topped with blue flame torches and a deep depression in the ground. The Hammerites, keen on ending what they considered an heretical cult, endeavored to make sure that every written record about it was completely expunged from the annuals of man. However, the Hammerites were unaware that 3 people had survived, along with the relics. 2 of them were men, who, unaware of the mystic's curse, had fled with the 2 gems to the far west, with the intent of reviving the order within the vicinity of the Bone Hoard. They were never heard of again, but the gems have turned up in several collectors' hands in recent years. The 3rd survivor, my great-great-grandmother, decided to guard the Golden Rosary close to home. Its care has been transferred from generation to generation until finally it has come to me. 27 years ago, when I was only 15, I met and married Guillaume de Fort. Guillaume Lefort, I'm sure it is French, who upon hearing of our history became enamored with our cause, to rebuild the Order of the First Apprentice. Getting permission to build the museum from the city was easy. However, the Hammerites had expunged all records about the site but their own, and would not renounce their feeble claim to it until we agreed to cover up every last vestige of the former shrine. Which we did, after first clearing out the entrance to the shrine, creating a passageway directly under the large dome area, and installing a stone on the floor to hide it. Thousands of people have stood in that spot, admiring a statue dedicated to the past, unaware of the history that is being rekindled below. As for the golden rosary, I've hidden it where none but a true candle-bearing believer would ever find it. Catherine Lefort, High Priestess, Order of the First Apprentice, 1013-34. So we need 2 blessed candles. We have one that we took from the cemetery outside, and one more is not far away. Now we also got a new objective. This golden rosary sounds valuable. Find it and make it yours. This is optional, but for Supreme that means it's required. Wait. So you can't really lay it flat. So you have to lay it, turn it standing up like that. But that's okay, we're limited by the engine there, so then you don't have to return it in any other way that you can. So we still have the objective though, even though we returned it.
So filthy lately.
Let's head this way. This is the private study, and we have the private study key. And the only thing we need in here is the vault key. There's nothing else in here, right? Guard Captain's office. So this is Captain Wille's office. This door we have to pick open. And here's a vase, an apple, and the captain's diary. Captain Jacob had an accident and won't be able to work for a few months. This means I'm getting a temporary promotion from sergeant to captain. Let's see. Yeah. Finally, I'm receiving the recognition I deserve. This is my chance to prove my skills as a superior guard, so I better not screw up anything. I moved into Jacob's office today. It's bigger than my apartment. There's even room for a bed in here. Better not get too used to this kind of luxury yet. Basement renovations on the new vault and armory were finally finished today. Was issued the only key on site for the armory. Better not lose it. Mud and blast and bother, I lost the armory key. Better keep this quiet and hope that no one needs anything from the armory for a while. Curator the Burg gave me new orders today. I have to hire extra guards and double the patrols for the time being. He wouldn't explain why. Just told me to follow orders. He seemed scared and was very nervous for some reason. Heard him muttering about some mystic stone and Hammerites. Still haven't found the armory key. Luckily there hasn't been any need for it so far. De Burgh gave me a key to his private study today. Why he needs to study when he already has that huge office beats me. Anyway, he said that I should guard the key with my life, and that no one is permitted to enter the study. I wonder what is going on. De Burgh has never acted like this before. Too bad about the barracks. The guys are going to be disappointed. Curator De Burgh is staying tonight in his office. He said that it needs to be left alone and uninterrupted. He also cancelled all museum tours for tomorrow. Professor Ordway will arrive tomorrow at the Burgh's request. They must be up to something important. Whatever it is, I'm sure it doesn't concern a simple guardsman like myself. It's going to be a long night. I better go check up on the guys to make sure that they are doing their jobs. Okay. So, In here, there's a scouting orb in this one. And on lower difficulties, there's also a hastily written note in here. It's on the desk on easy difficulty, and it's under the desk on normal difficulty. But on hard, it's nowhere. And let's see. On easy, that written note says, the word count on the first line of the poem in Ordway's letter seems to refer to the torch in the inner courtyard, while statues on the second line seems to point to the one between the two statues in the basement. So it gives you a hint to two of the torches. On normal, it says something else. It says, if only I had confiscated or made a copy of Morley's poem before letting him go. If memory serves me right, the first line mentions court, which probably means that the first torch is in the sequence is in the inner courtyard. Now, if I only could remember how the rest of the poem goes. So we have read the courtyard, we read the poem, and we know that the courtyard is the first torch. Here we are safe.
Something moved there.
Fantastic timing.
Oh, the air is getting so filthy.
Thought I
Oh, that wasn't him. It was a different guard that went through the same area. There. Okay. Now we're actually going to head down here. So where we are coming down now, we're not going to go down this way. We are coming down right here. No, we're not. We're coming down this staircase. And in this area, there's a guard here that is very difficult to sneak by. You can come down here and then stay in this middle area, but either of these doorways, you can get spotted by a guard here. You can see him. This is General the Moor and a Man in Armor by Rembrandt. So this can take you downstairs, but you can't really go this way, so we're not gonna worry about it. So we need to find the birth dates of General de Moor. Up here, we have the second blessed candle. I'm going to actually take the elevator. It's on level 2, so we got to leave it there. No, sorry. Oh. Yeah, I took the candle here, didn't I? Yeah. Let me see.
Such a bad job. Staying around. Good for the team. Looking for armor. Okay, sword. I got my own.
Oh yeah.
What's that?
Okay, I'm not going to go in this way. I'm a little bit turned around right now. Brother Renault's golden spectacle. Take a statue here. We're here now. Yeah. That's right, we're gonna get a pretty difficult piece of loot here. It's in that gallery there. Right there. If we go down here, this is the guard that I mentioned is right around the corner there. So this is where we came in and saw the picture or painting of De Morin. So we can go over here. We can grab that. And just see some things here. This is the Blinding of Samson by Rembrandt. Here we have another statue here. So there's the guard that I talked about.
I don't like the looks
Wonder
of
what that noise was.
Third time this shift. I gotta
And here we have Aristotle contemplating a bust of Homer by Rembrandt. Some beautiful paintings in this one. I've always been interested in art. I don't know much about it, but I can definitely appreciate the things that we're seeing in this mission. I think we can drop here. No. We can, I know we can, but... There. Oh, didn't hold the... This is a lot easier to do in New Dark. In Old Dark, I remember I had to use a rope arrow because I couldn't mantle up that fence there. So I had to jump from a rope sort of into the area there. Now we're going to head into the astronomy wing. I was a little bit too early in there. We took the statue in here. You also get the spectacles, 1145. There are two books. This you can pick over here, and there's a flash mine in that display case, but there's no way we need that. The items outside the glass case were donated to the museum by Brother Cavador when he was the bishop of the Sunnyport chapter of the Hammerites. Recovered by the chapter from their long-abandoned cathedral compound in the deserted section of Dayport, they were reported to be at the creation of the father of astronomy, Father Renault, who is quoted saying, "With these I have learned much about the movements of the lights the builder has said above." A great admirer of Renault's work, Cavador himself was also a great inventor, as attested by examples of his work in the glass case. Okay, so now head over here, so I'll have to go slow. This might take a little while because this is difficult here. We have to get 2 masks on the walls over there. This woman here pivots.
What?
And when she pivots, she's stationed right here. When she pivots southwest, we can cross the bright area. But she cannot pivot back southeast before we're into the dark
Rocks
again.
are nice. Blue rocks are the best. Brown rocks, definitely great rocks. Don't see many blue rocks around. Blue rocks are too slack on the job, you know.
What?
Just a matter of waiting. This is just an RNG situation. The only way for us to avoid a first alert here is if she does not pivot back before we
What?
see. And sometimes she stays longer, and sometimes she stays shorter. And there's no
What?
way. There's no way to go along the walls here. It's just as bright. It doesn't look like it, but it is. There we go. Good. Oh, now there's another guard. Wille is coming. Okay. Well, hopefully that will be enough to do that. Take 1 mask.
My shift's supposed to be over by now. I probably forgot to come and change. He's probably still sleeping.
Precursor masks. There has been much speculation regarding precursor masks like the ones hanging on the pillars. Some believe that these masks were worn by the high priests of a sun god cult. Others that these were simply theatrical masks, while still others believe that they were worn to protect one's face from the sun. The rationale behind the masks may remain mere conjecture, since despite unearthing evidence of amazing technologies that are vastly superior to our own, no written precursor records have been found to date. Either they were technological illiterates, or the precursors had evolved beyond the need to write anything down, or most likely they wrote in a manner or on a substance that remains unrecognizable or undecipherable to us. Donated by Baron DeFox.
Bastard. I never do that. Come late. I'm supposed to be on duty. He always does this.
What?
Let's see.
Rocks are nice. Blue rocks are the best. Better than brown rocks. Definitely gray rocks. Don't see many blue rocks around. Blue rocks are
She doesn't see that.
slack on it. Oh,
So here we can move a little bit faster.
You are in.
We can move a little bit faster once we get in, towards her back. Not too much.
Who's making that noise?
We can't make noise.
Look here!
Seeing things.
Hey,
And then this guy sees me. See?
over there! Thought I saw
Oh, come
something.
on. I guess maybe, can we do that then?
not such a...
What? I saw that.
See, this is where I don't get it. This totally
Hey,
looks dark.
you!
But it's obviously not, so...
Thought I saw.
We have to go back too, that's the difficult part. There. So yeah, now we see the guard that we saw earlier. 1245 is what we should have. The Baronial Museum, this magnificent edifice, built from 1210 to 1215 AFB, would never have been completed but for the visionary persistence of Baron Guillaume and Baroness Catherine Lefort, and the tireless dedication of its workers. Getting permission to build from the city of Bohn civil leaders was easy, especially since the Leforts had both the financial resources and the support of the monarchy for the project. However, the site was haunted by the people who had once lived and thrived on this very spot, but who were completely exterminated in the destruction that had struck this integral part of Bohn 150 years ago. All memory, living or written, of the community or the people that once existed here appears to have been erased, except for one obscure decree found in the royal archives which makes reference to the Order of the Hammer. It just so happened that the Hammerites, banned by the law of expulsion when the Imperium attempted to annex the kingdom over a century earlier, were petitioning Queen Carelia for readmittance and were facing unwavering opposition from the barons of the realm. Seeing an opportunity in allying with the powerful Leforts, the Hammerites agreed to relinquish the claim to the site to the Baron and Baroness on 2 conditions. First, active support leading to success of the Order's petition. Second, that the entire site be covered and leveled off until the highest point was buried under at least 2 cubits of soil and stone. The Leforts complied. 2 years later, the Order was absolved and welcomed back to Norda. The very day that the claim was transferred to the Leforts, had the site blessed and the cornerstone installed to the cheers of the ecstatic citizens of Bohn. The plans for the museum were drafted by the famous architect and builder Wille Keeney, who had studied several years under the tutelage of the esteemed Coma at the school of Jerome. Keeney quickly became one of the leading masters in the Byzantine art of dome construction, as can be readily be seen upon viewing this marvelous masterpiece. Funding for the museum came mainly from the Leforts' own massive fortune. Furthermore, the city of Bohn and other other enterprising interests were quick to buy up and build upon unused portions of the site. The Baronial Museum was officially opened by Her Majesty Queen Carelia V on 4/4/15. Over 100,000 people from all over the known world have wandered its halls since then. Sadly, Baron Lefort died 10 years after his dream was built. He was buried by the Baroness in the cemetery located on site. Okay. So yeah, we have to go back here now.
Thought I saw something. Thought I saw...
It's quite crazy that we can like walk straight past her, the direction that she is facing.
I don't like the looks of that.
The only job she has is to watch this hallway.
Not again.
Now he sees us. There, if we do that. Nice. Got through there on the first one. Alright, so where do we have to go now?
Something there?
Oh, wow. Yeah, we have to go back here now. We're not going to go downstairs just yet.
What did I see there?
Didn't save it there either. this is that was the most difficult area we're doing in the mission, actually. So some of you might notice this view. This is the view that I used in the first Thief Ambient competition from this mission here. This one was included in that. Whoa, what are you doing? Okay. Okay. Now here we have Klatremus' curse.
Hey, hold it right there!
Here you can
What
actually.
I see there? Stop at once and put your.
Yeah, you can be dark here, but very close to the window. It's just so silly. Right here, you're dark. So this is Klatremus' curse. This is also from the Kalevala, from that Finnish poem. But this, I think, appears different. This is a different storyline, or a different section of the poem, than what has to do with the Sampo. This is Klatremus, one of the main characters, and he is here cursing, I think, the Maiden of the North, the same antagonist as Väinämöinen had. But I'm not really sure the premise of the setting here. Seems like he's out in the wild doing something with his dog. Anyway. Let's see. I think we have to go on here. No, we don't. Let's go back. So now we're headed south. So we are now going... Yeah, we're now going south from here. We've covered pretty much the entire eastern section of the second floor except for this area. Yep. Here are some display cases. We're going to have to pick those open. Yep. I think yeah, this is the guard coming here, yeah. He walks in a circle. We have to pick the lock on these two. And we gotta make sure he's far enough away. It's sometimes tough to gauge how far they can hear the lockpicks. They can definitely hear the lockpicks farther than they can doors. 2 diamonds and a tiara. Actually, it was 1 diamond and a gem, and then 3 more diamonds, or gems rather, in this. And here's the skull. And the way to open that is by flipping this. That is a secret. What was that? Oh. What was that? Let's do that then. I thought I heard something. So that skull was worth 100, and that was a secret. 1745 is what we should have here. Now we're going to head down here. There's a guard around here with a purse. Guard that is here should have a purse on him. Not this guy. There's a guard with a healing potion, that's right. Maybe that's the one. Maybe I'm mixing it up with another guard. There should be maybe a guard with a purse.
Hey, someone back.
Enemies can see through these pillars, by the way. It's like they don't exist. Dagger. Statue. We're not safe here, so I hope we're not. Okay. Defender of Bohn. General de Morin, born on 2769. Okay, so that's the code then. 2769. So now we got to make sure we know. Was Bohn's most beloved son. A natural military leader, he won acclaim as the commanding officer of Bohn's elite cavalry, which obliterated the besieging Hammerite Imperium army in a brilliant counterattack. After the war, General de Morin became the supreme commander of Bohn's baronial forces. When King Olav II died without issue, in 1125 AFB, the barons of the Kingdom of Norda offered the crown to de Morin. However, he refused to be king and only reluctantly accepted the role of regent of the realm during the interim search for the rightful heir to the throne. On 9/8/32, 1132 AFB, Norda's beloved regent and war hero died of a sudden heart attack during cavalry rehearsals. Let me see. Sorry. Just got a text here. The wife. Alright. So now we know 2769. I think we have to head back here. Pretty sure. Let's head in here. Unknown sarcophagus. Much mystery surrounds this intricately designed sarcophagus, which was unearthed during the laying of the foundations of the Baronial Museum. Unfortunately, there appears to be no written records, even in the royal archives, of either the sarcophagus or the community that had once thrived on this site before it was buried during the devastation that struck it 150 years ago. Some believe that the casket was that of a great mystic. Others, that it held the bodily remains of a high priest or noble, or that it was the final resting place of the builder's first apprentice. Regardless, when workers opened the sealed sarcophagus, they only found the ordinary-looking sword now laying on top of it. Except the weaving and folding of the metal of this sword appeared to have been crafted by a technique that is unknown in our world. Okay. Take the 2 jars here. So now we are in the northeastern area of the first floor, up here. Let me see. Yeah. This room here, we're not going to hit right now. There's tons of artifacts, but there's a guard that could come into this door. He patrols like this. Maybe he goes through this door a little bit. Not sure where he is right now. This is the doors outside. Oh, he's coming now. That's what he's doing. Yeah, there he is. So he goes around here and then goes back into that room. So it's much easier to come from the west to do that room, and I think that room is tiled. It's an artifact museum room. We're gonna head back south.
Hello?
I don't think there is a guard with a purse. I think it's just that guy with the healing potion. Too eager, too eager. This is a gallery that doesn't have anything valuable in it. Oh, there are many, many guards patrolling. The good thing is that they are patrolling, but they're not. Many of them are not stationary.
Damn coffee.
Okay. So now we have gone south into the restrooms. And in here there is one piece of loot. A green vase.
Nobody, please.
Okay, so now we're gonna head down here. Staff only. This is a door that is pickable. And it leads to a part of the map that you can't really see. Probably on purpose. There. So this is an old library that is not used anymore. Here we have one of the four. One of the four torches. Here's a green vase that we're taking. Total 2010. And then here is the secret. Kind of looks like something special. And here are two sort of probable or usable candle holders. So that's where we're going to put our two. So that creates light. And that gives us access
This should fetch a
to
nice price.
the golden rosary. So you get a count for the secret there too. It checks off this optional objective. Now I don't know. I don't think we can put these out, can we? No. Because if you do, and that would close the door, then that's what you would have to do, because you've created a light source here. But if you can't do it, then that's fine. Empty. There's also a moss arrow hanging here. I'd like to pick up everything. Okay. In the library, goblet, and a coin on the floor. Very difficult to see that one. This is where we came up from the basement. No, from the sewer, sorry. So now we are actually going to go down to the vault. Oh. Actually, why don't we instead return the armory key, because we are here now. Wasn't planning on doing that until later, but we might as well.
Notice there's never any birds around anymore. Used to be birds, singing in the morning.
I think I'm safe here.
You up, singing at night, looking for girl birds to meet up with. Just don't hear them no more. Kinda sad.
Okay, we have to wait for this guy too. So the next mission is going to be Thieves' Den 4, the Alchemist for the Dark mod. I wanted to finish that campaign, which I started last year. I haven't played the Dark mod for a while, and I was wondering if it would be easy to get back into it, and it took me 5 minutes, and I was hooked. So the Dark mod is a great mod. Let's hope that we're safe here. Yep. All right. We got that done. That's good. That's good. Now, let's make a real save. Now we're gonna go down and rob the vault. That he saw, he just didn't give a first alert because he is stopped. So annoying. But it's kind of good because we know where he is, so just have to wait for him. Okay. Okay. 3 masks. Kara's New Scripture. Book of Stone, 1st edition. Trickster's Dark Project. Gem, diamond. What is that? Necklace. And a hammer. And then you have the Mystic Heart. Completes the main objective. And we have an inventory list. Vault items. 2 ancient skulls, golden ceremonial hammer, precursor crystal, raw diamond necklace with brilliance. 3 antique masks, hammerite, mechanist, and pagan tomes, and the Mystic Heart.
I wish someone let me know what's going on.
that guy's coming back now. He can see through this door because it has a some small openings in it. That he probably heard because he can hear through the door too. So we can't reset the code to 4 zeros because there's no 0 digits on the panel. But 4 ones will do it. That closes it too. Okay, let's see. How are we?
Wish someone let me know what's going on.
We need to return the vault key now. Let me just check something.
Hello? It's true at all what they said. It's true. Just believed him like a taffy. They're
Yeah.
behind my back. Not true at all. Nope.
You know what? The easiest thing here would probably be to take the elevator from the basement. That would probably be the best idea. Right? Always like to take the elevator, but we're going to need to go all the way up to 3rd floor. Good timing.
Just because I've been here.
Then we can take the elevator down again to the 1st floor because that's where we need to leave it.
Who was that there?
That would be the best deal. I think so anyway.
Someone there?
Hello, Esmeralda. On another night, I might have stopped and chat, but not today. So now we have only the private study key to return.
Hello? Show yourself. That can't be me. That washed a few days ago.
Yeah, so now we can take the elevator down to first floor. Because we don't have anything else to do on the second floor. All of the torches are on the first floor or the basement.
Just get away with pushing me around. I'll show them someday.
This is where the elevator's supposed to be, too. It's the first check that's where we're supposed to be here now, right? $29.65.
Wonder what that noise... I see you there. Hold it right where you are. Ah!
What is that smell? That smells like old meat.
Okay, there's supposed to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, there's not. Sorry. I just want to have the maximum amount of time here. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Items shown in this room are ancient artifacts and tools that predate to the times of precursors. These particular items were found from Val Tarak Din, an ancient ruined city that was once a great seaport of Emperor Vatarak's empire. This, $29.85. So now we have basically covered, this was the artifact room. We've walked northwest now, here, and now we're going to head over towards the courtyard, which is our first torch to put out. Let's see. Now we can also return the private study key. And here is Captain Wille, so then we can just leave it along his route. Not sure where he's going, if he's going this way or what he is. He is not. So he came here, so then we can just drop it here on the rug maybe? There. These two identical statues were discovered shortly after the building groundings were laid. Surprisingly, when found, they were in perfect shape, despite being hundreds of years old. Their sculpture and meaning are yet to be discovered. Maybe that's Knut and Svein. Okay, so here is the main foyer then. This is the Mechanist wing. Father Karras, the self-esteemed leader of the Mechanists, a religious order that reached predominance during the last decade in several major centers of the former Hammerite Imperium. The group was shattered and later banned shortly after Father Karras betrayed his followers during his mad scheme for power. An angel statue, a typical decoration in Mechanist-era buildings. 100 reasons why the order of the gear is thine choice of religion, brother humbug. Okay, we took a statue there, 3,000. We have some 100 reasons why the order of the hammer is thine choice of religion. Also from brother humbug. Okay. Medallion.
Something moved there. Hey!
Oh, behind me.
Is someone there?
He turns around. That's good to know. No, he does not.
Hey!
Okay.
Hello?
Okay, are we trapped now? Really? When he turns around, I'm going to scoot. There. He's not going through here, is he? No. Doesn't look like it. Good. Medallion and 4 coin piles. 3150. The religious artifacts and valuables shown here, courtesy of the Order of the Hammer, were donated to the museum by the Order in celebration of its readmittance to Norda 22 years ago. Here's a hammer, worth 75. That takes us to 3225, and that is past 3200, which is the loot objective. Okay. Staff only. Well, that's where we're gonna go. Because this is the ticket office. And there's a stack of gold coins worth 25, total 3250. So we're gonna head back here, I think. Where are we now?
Can't believe the damn coffee brewers.
Who's that?
So we are now in the ticket office, which is right here, isn't it? I think so. Yeah, we're gonna head over here to this area. We do have to go back where we came from there.
Is that you?
Oh yeah. This is where we need to be.
Hello?
Oh, that's the guy that I showed you from above earlier. A lot of reloading here.
Hello?
Again. It's the city of Bohn is what it says, I think. The biggest problem, I don't know if I like the lighting in this mission. It looks good, but I don't think the shadow lines are fair, always. So we're going to to take a... No. Oh, there it is. Okay. Sorry. Tiara here.
Wish someone would let me know what's going on. Never included in anything. Last person I know.
Please turn. There we go. Since I moved, he did. Gold vase.
Hello?
Now, of course, we can't do that.
Wish someone would let me know what's going on. Never included in anything. Last person I know.
Take this statue afterwards.
Thought I saw something.
Really? Upstairs, man.
God, I'm bored.
And with Supreme, you can't.
8 hours of this.
I can't do this. I gotta come from the other side, I think. I don't know.
What is that smell? It smells like old meat. What the? That can't be me. I washed a few days ago.
Priceless sapphire vase sculpted by Nilsson. Total 3470.
Just because I've been here only a few months, think that I can just get away with pushing me around. I'll show them someday.
Please
Someday
turn
I'll
around.
do what they deserve.
Please turn around. We just have a couple more pieces of loot left and then we're done with this. We just have to go through the torches. Okay, well... No, now he turns back. Gotta be kidding me here. No, we gotta wait for that other guard to come through. There's no way we can do this. That's the guard with the purse that covers the courtyard. Now he's facing this way. So we are now here. We have to go through. There's a room here with some loot, and then we can start. We can get the purse of that guy that patrols through like this. We can start.
Just because I've been here only a few months, think that I can just get away with pushing me around. I'll show them someday. Someday they'll get what they deserve. Who's there? God, I'm bored.
to. Green jar, 50 each, and a plate, 35.80. There's our last painting in the story of the Kalevala, the defense of the Sampo. So here on the left you have Väinämöinen.
What was that? Hey, we got an intruder!
Oh, I honestly did not know he came in here. Let's do that then. This and that. We have Väinämöinen on the left, and he has now taken back the sample that he made for the Maiden of the North.
Drinking. Taking a break.
This guy pass. Okay, he's not the guy with the purse. Okay, that's true. So then the guy with the purse doesn't come through here. So yeah, he is in his boat on his way back to his homeland, and now he gets attacked by the Maiden of the North, who turns herself into, you know, a humanoid eagle, which you see on the right there. And in that battle, the Sampo was lost at sea. So the Sampo sinks down to sea, and I don't think that the story ever reveals whether that's been recovered or not. I don't think so. So that's what you're seeing here, the fight against the Maiden of the North. Okay. There we go. 3,600, that's max loot for Supreme. So now we have to put out these torches. Now that is the way that we find a way into the shrine. Now it doesn't directly say for us to extinguish any lights, so when we do that, that's going to be a Supreme bust. Plus, at least 2 of them, and I think this one right here is one of them. The other one is the one in the outer courtyard with the fountain. They will be triggering first alerts from the guards that patrol by it. They're going to say something like, it wasn't like that earlier. Almost like they see a door open or a rope arrow or something similar to that. So those are going to be busts for Supreme. So that's going to put it out. That's the removal of a light source. We're going to head down here and we're going to now do the other one in the basement. And that's going to be over in this general direction here. To basically go through the basement to get to that. That's okay. Right in here.
Get some money. Find anything.
Please move before the other guy comes back. You're probably not going to, but anyway. See. Max unlucky timing.
Hello?
Oh, jeez. How did he see that? Hard leaving around the corner before he alerted.
Just because I've been here only a few months, think that I can just get away with pushing me around. I'll show them someday. Someday I'll get them what they deserve.
What's that?
Wait. No, there's no window here that we can go up. Here it's dark at least. Go. Now we should come up in the library. So now we just have to head south here.
Someday I'm not going to be a guard anymore.
The third one is this. If it's not the right one, then they will relight again right after you use it. And now we have to get to the garden here. Yeah. Yep. There's also a lot of like drapes. Light? What light is it? It doesn't seem like it is that bright there, but... Okay. We're pretty close to the basement entrance.
Just don't hear them no more. Kind of sad.
Wait. We just went down here. Yeah.
Been here
What am I
only a
doing
few
here?
months.
Here it is. Okay. Like it should be close by, isn't it? The last one is this one here. And that also will be discovered by this guard. So that checked off this objective. The shrine can be accessed now. When you are done with everything else, make your way into it. Okay. There. We have to go back here. Just check real quick. Yeah, you can't return that holy water bottle. Okay. We'll save. Now we are here now. We need to get to the Great Hall. So then can we just go up here? I think so. This is a room that we haven't seen yet.
None for them. Hey, you over there!
Devices of Pain. And it comes with a real live opponent too. That's great. Can't. Okay. Okay. At least he wasn't going the way that I was going. That's good. Good. Now we have to do this.
What's that? What the?
We have to do it making sure that we don't get caught along the way, of course. I want to read that plaque too. On the one side there. Now, frobbing that hammer is now possible, and that will lower the elevator in the middle there. Now, when we get to the bottom, we're going to end the mission right away. But we want to raise the elevator, so I want to quickly do that. The builder, elevated in stature by the one who served beneath him. So I'm going to make sure that I frob this elevator to go back up pretty quickly here.
This looks like the way in.
There. It started to go up, so that's enough. It would go up. Okay, good. So that actually ended the mission. There is something you can see down there. Well, let me save it here. And go back and I'll show you. So this is then where the next mission will continue, which has never been made. I know that Wille made a little bit of the third mission because I've seen some screenshots from it. But anyway, that was a successful Perfect Thief of Mystic Gems 2. It was not a Perfect Supreme because we removed light sources when we doused the 4 torches, and 2 of the torches trigger first alerts from guards that patrol nearby. So 6 Supreme busts then, but they're all related to the same thing. 1 hour, 22 minutes, and 24 seconds. We found 3,600 loot out of 3,600. We picked 5 out of 7 pockets. That's all purses and 1 key, wasn't it, that we returned? Locks picked 9. Backstabs and knockout 0. Damage dealt 0. Damage taken 0. Healing taken 0. Nothing and nobody killed. Iron Beast destroyed none and disabled none. We found all 5 secrets. There we go. Good. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you think. And I'll see you back for Thieves Den 4, The Alchemists. Have a good night. Bye-bye.